Hey everybody, thanks for watching my channel, BeccaTownSims. Today we're going to do a tour of the Djinn Palace, which was my entry for the Spark Creature Challenge. And this was kind of based off of a book I read, and I was really inspired by this concept of the Djinn. And I've got a special guest star today because I don't know that much about Arabian architecture or the Djinn. So I've got my friend Sue, aka Nerdy Panda, aka IMS, here to tell us a little bit about Arabian architecture and this Muslim tradition or belief of these creatures called the Djinn. So let's go meet Sue. Here, welcome to my palace part 2, Sue.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure, my dear. So I was gonna tell people how I got inspired to build this. Yeah, so I read The City of Rest by S.A. Chakraborty, and it was really cool because I haven't really read anything else set in kind of like the Arabic Islamic world, and because it was a fantasy.
Yeah.
And so when they went to the city, I was like, that sounds cool as hell. And then Sparked, kind of near the last bit of Sparked, I finally read it and I was like, oh, magical creatures, this could be perfect for like a Djinn Palace. So that's what I decided to build.
Yeah, and actually you did like a really nice job with it.
Thank you.
You know, we see this kind of architecture where I'm from, so yeah, you kind of nailed some stuff, and I didn't expect to see this grandeur out of what you have done. So I was really proud of what you did, and I felt really happy seeing it.
So you read the book too, what'd you think?
Yeah, I didn't finish it yet, but I'm like almost at the end, and I gotta say I'm not that into fantasy books and stuff. I just read one trilogy that is fantasy, and that was it for me. But this is actually a really nice book, and I would recommend it to people to read it.
I really liked it, but I don't have any cultural awareness of how accurate it was, so I'm glad that it wasn't bad.
Actually, I liked it because when I was reading, you know, when you're reading something, okay, so I know English and I do understand English, but sometimes like English writers, American writers, whatever, when they are writing something that is not their culture, you would see some things that lack. But this one, she actually used Arabic words, and you'd know that this is not translated, because in her writing, like in the actual paragraph, in a sentence, she would say, and I remember very good one of the sentences, okay, I do not remember it word for word, but in one of her sentences she says that he had his khanjar on his waist, and then she explains in the same sentence that a khanjar is a crescent-like dagger. I felt so happy because I was reading words that we actually use in my daily life.
You use daggers in your daily life?
Okay, okay, that is bad. Khanjar is not just the dagger that we use to kill people. We actually use a kind of khanjar like to cut bananas from the stems. So yes.
You've reassured me.
But still, she used like very nice words that, okay, so sometimes when I'm talking to you guys, I would say, yeah, some words would slip, like bala or something like that, and she actually uses these in her writings, and I felt so very happy.
Representation.
Yeah. Yeah, and how she actually describes the lands that the characters in the story are going through. Like, for example, she talks about Egypt. She actually describes Egypt, and it was very nice how she, in the first of the story, in the beginning of the story, when Nahri is going to the apothecary of Ya'qub. So when she goes there, she describes like the narrow roads and paths that Nahri is going through, and the clutter that is on the streets, the clutter that is in the stores, people shouting and screaming and stuff. And this is actually what happens. This is like actually the normal day that people go through in these parts of the country. So this was she did a very good job by representing the country that she was talking about. Okay, so the story is about the Djinn. Okay, so how she explains the Djinn, it is actually a nice way to explain. Okay, so she went somehow for the nicer if you want the nicer description of the jinn, because the jinn, do you have any idea what the jinn?
Yeah, let's hear my idiotic
Oh, don't say that.
ignorant ideas of what it is. This is all I
don't know the culture. If you don't know the culture, nobody will blame you.
The biggest thing that we've got from like the Arabic speaking world that most people here in the United States know about culturally is like 1001 Nights and Aladdin, right? And so I know almost nothing. And then I read that book. And so those are my only 2 reference points. And so from the book, what I got was like a magical kind of like spirit-ish creature. And that was it. So when I asked you about it and you were like, what? They're evil. I was like, oh no. But I want to build a palace. And I just read this book. So yeah, you should explain it for all of us poor ignorant Americans.
No, not poor ignorant Americans. I don't know what your buildings are called. So yeah, the jinn are, like you said, like spirit-ish creatures. So they are not humans, but at the same time they are not spirits. So they are something in between. They can manifest in the they can they come from theology. So people who read the Quran, they know more about them. But honestly, I'm someone who is nosy and wants to know everything about everything. So I've read a lot about them. And what I can tell you, but still, you have to know that even my knowledge is limited because I just know of the culture. I'm not part of the culture. You know, I'm close to it, very close to it. We live in the same country and the same land, but I'm not that involved in that culture. But what I can tell you about the jinn, they are created by God. Okay, so it is either you believe in them or you don't believe in them. So they are like ghosts. They are like
a very
evil spirits.
Real part of like the culture.
Yes, exactly.
Not like like elves or something here. Like
no. They I told you they are part of the religion, the Islamic religion. So basically, they were created by God. And they are just like any other race. They have, some of them are good, some of them are bad, but mainly they are bad creatures. They can manifest into the human world. They have the power to manifest into the human world. They can marry, they can woohoo.
Ooh.
Yeah, and so they can marry humans. They can like shapeshift into human form. So yes, and but at their core they are evil, and God gave power to King Sulaiman. I think in English you call him Solomon.
Oh, that's who that is. I mean, I read about it in that book, and I was like, "Yep, that's the guy." Sure. Wow.
Yeah. So in Arabic, his name is Sulaiman.
Oh, cool.
So God gave him the power to order them, just like he could order any other creature or natural phenomenon. You know. So and he was the one who actually, like, if you want, exiled them. Yeah, that's it. But still, until this day, people. Okay, I'm not much of a believer. Please, let's put it out there. But just like in any other culture, just like in any other country, some people believe in them, some other people don't believe in them. And about the anecdote that I wanted to say, I actually met someone who knows someone who married a jinn.
Oh.
Okay, so I met a guy who knows a guy who married a jinn, and he was the only one who could see her. He thought of her as the most beautiful woman on the face of the planet until he started working and he didn't have time for her anymore. So she started to become this evil creature, and she became the ugliest thing on the face of the planet, and his life went downhill from there. So, by the way, I love the thing you did with the archway, the sun thingies.
Thank you. Oh, tell us about some architecture.
Yes. You nailed it, kind of.
So this is what I thought about like Islamic architecture. I know there's arches. I know it's
Yes.
often hot, and I know that there's a lot of like geometric patterns, aren't there? And domes.
Yes.
And that's about all I knew, and the rest I was like, it's a fantasy palace. What should there be and what should there not be?
The central courtyard you did is just epic. It is perfect. It is found in every single Arabic palace out there. And the water feature you did is actually very good because, as you said, it is a hot place, so people need water. Another thing is that, so Arabic countries are in the desert. So normally there's not much water there. So they always have water features in their homes and around their homes. The thing is, they have like irrigation systems all around their houses because they need their plants. As you know, in deserts, like rarely plants live, but greenery all around your house just gives you life. About the domes, you are very correct. There are too many domes in Arabic art.
Can you have too many, Sue?
They have like this religious meaning behind them, the domes.
Interesting.
This is why there are a lot of domes. But nowadays, architects are no longer doing these kinds of builds because these kinds of builds need a lot of material and heavy duty material. So basically, the stones that are used are mainly yellow sandstones, which are very, very expensive. In this economy, can you actually afford to get those? Right. So especially nowadays, with Arab countries like falling really behind in their economies, it's kind of hard to do that. So basically, they resort more into to building their houses from concrete, and domes. Architecturally, they cost a lot, but you do still see those kinds. Those styles of architecture mainly in mosques and religious buildings. Religious buildings still like pour a lot of money into those buildings. There is this palace I visited. Just so you know how much Arab people like to adorn, decorate their houses from the outside. It actually had gold paper on the outside, but you have to see it at sunset.
Oh my God.
Oh
I
my
would love
God.
to see it at sunset, so you will take me when I come visit you.
I will take you. Of course I will. Yeah. Oh, by the way, okay, the trims that you have around the top of the building, those are perfect. Those were perfect. Yes. And the huge arches that like are all around the facade of the house, of the palace. I'm sorry. The palace. So the huge arches that are all around. Also, like, you nailed it, spot on.
Thank you.
But okay, so basically this kind of palace, you would actually see it either if you visited Egypt like 1,000 years ago, or if you visit Persia, especially Asfahan. Yeah, especially Asfahan. Asfahan is like this one of those like richer cities of Persia, and people still have those houses over there. So yeah.
Good for them, man. Good for them.
Yeah, but there is something that you missed. I'm pretty sure it's because it's not included in the book, and I'm pretty sure you never knew about it. It's something called the majlis.
Oh, what's that?
The majlis is a tent for people who visit you. You put them in a tent. But listen up. Wait. Okay. So this tent, if you like this person that is visiting you, you actually have coffee or tea in this tent. This tent would be like probably as big as your apartment.
Okay, so this is a nice tent.
This is a nice tent. So when I was in Qatar, I had a meeting with this sheikha. Sheikha is like a princess.
What were you doing meeting with a princess?
She had a wedding.
How do you get invited to a princess's wedding? I've never been invited to a princess's wedding. Who are you?
Yeah,
are you like a secret, secret nobility?
Yeah, S stands for secrets. I went into this majlis, and let me tell you, Becca, in her majlis, in her tent, she had more bottles of perfume than whatever I have owned during my entire life of perfume. These perfume bottles were the Arabic oud. It's an essence, actually, they extract from the bark of the tree.
Can I ask you a favor? The next time you get invited to a princess's wedding, can you bring a +1? And that one be
Yes,
me.
I wish I knew you back then, honestly.
Next time. Thank you for giving us all those facts, Sue.
Oh, thanks for having me. I had so much fun. Okay, so I like talking a lot and I like architecture. So actually, I want to thank you for having me.
We'll have you back.
Bye, Becca.